sunrise and sunset, promise and fulfillment, birth and death. The whole drama of life is written in the sands of time.
We present a new series of radio programs, The Clock.
The passage of time and the forward trend of civilization have both had a profound influence in changing man from a polygamous animal to one who practices monogamy. In the reign of Solomon the King, 1,000 wives was the custom. Today, one wife, or at least one wife at a time, is the prevailing fashion. But there are still some members of the species Homo sapiens who are loath to accept their monogamous status. I'm not referring to the bigamists either, mind you. As a matter of fact, the gentlemen of whom I speak rarely marry at all. But they have a list of conquests to their credit that would put a sultan to shame, and they seem to forget the fact that one woman can be more than enough for any man to handle.
I'm no Conrad. Bet you'll never see my puss in a subway poster when you're hanging from the strap. That's why I can't figure the reason they go for me in such a great big way. I'm talking about women. Fat women, thin women, blondes and brunettes. They all make a grab for Alex. It can't be the way I talk. My education don't amount to much, and I'm a little rough around the edges. And my bill wouldn't win no prizes in a models magazine. So maybe it's my face. Yeah, maybe it's the way I smile and look them in the eye that makes them gulp like flounders and ooze right into my arms. Anyway, I ain't complaining because I like them just as much as they like me. Oh, boy, how I love them. I take them all shapes and sizes from 18 to 85. And when I say I take them, mister, I mean I take them for everything they got. For instance, there was Lola. When I met her, she was wearing a black satin evening gown with lace all over the middle. Her skin was as white as a hunk of ermine, and her teeth were straighter than the keys on a baby grand. We did the town together from 52nd Street to the village, and by the time I took her home in a taxi cab, we were getting to be old friends.
Oh, Alex, kiss me. Kiss me hard.
Oh, I'm afraid I've been smearing your lipstick.
I've never met a man like you before. What is about you that makes you so attractive?
Listen, stop taking me apart. Just relax, honey, and I'll do the talking.
Where's he going?
What?
The cab driver, where's he taking us?
To your apartment, the address you gave.
Oh, no, he can't do that.
What?
I must be crazy. You must be driving me out of my mind.
Well, what's the matter? Ain't you paid your rent up?
I'm married, Alex.
You what?
I got a husband.
What? Oh, Lola, how could you do a thing like that to me?
I know I should have told you before. I just didn't want to lose you.
Oh, ain't there a woman in the world I can trust?
Oh, Alex, don't look at me like that, please. Please, darling, it doesn't make any difference.
Driver, stop this hack.
Alex, please. When will we see each other again?
I ain't sure.
I'll call in the morning between 10 and 12. My husband's always at his office then.
Now, what business is he in?
Oh, he's a diamond buyer.
Oh, he buys diamonds?
Alex, please, tell me I'll see you.
Well, I'll think it over, baby, and let you know. I let her stew for a couple of days, then I gave her a ring. Inside a week, I had her eaten out of my hand. Then came an evening when I figured it was time to blow. Who is it?
It's Lola, darling. Let me in. Oh, Alex, something terrible's happened. What's that suitcase doing on your bed?
I'm packing.
Packing for what?
I'm getting out of here for a while.
But you can't leave me now.
Well, who says I can't?
Well, what about those diamonds you borrowed?
I'll mail them to you tomorrow.
Alex, my husband's coming home sooner than I expected. He'll arrive tonight.
So what?
He'll open his safe and find the diamonds missing.
But what does he do? Count every hunk of glass he's got? You only gave me 3.
You told me that you were using those stones for security on loan. You said you'd give them back to me whenever I wanted them.
Yeah, well, you get them. You'll get them. Stop
Alex,
hollering.
I gotta have them tonight.
Listen, I'm busy. I gotta make a train.
You stole them, Alex. Why, you're nothing but a thief.
Look, will you go home?
Go home? I'll call the police. That's what I'll do. I'll put you in jail for this.
There's the phone. Use it. And then you can call your husband down to identify the loot.
You're despicable.
Yeah.
You're rotten through and through.
Get out of my way, baby. You're blocking the door.
Alex!
Get out of my way before I kick your pretty teeth in. So long, Lola. It's been lovely knowing you. And just to show you how I feel, I'm going to mark you AAA on my suckers list. See what I mean? They just can't keep away from me. I'm the lady's home companion, the dame's delight. And the smarter they come, the harder they fall. That's why I had to bite my lip to keep from laughing when I first met Ethel. Yeah, she was a waitress at the drive-in near L.A., cute as a pretzel with big blue eyes and a dumb expression. I don't usually mix business with pleasure, but I only go for the dolls who pay off. But I figured this time I didn't have to go in and make for a profit. I was just going to keep her happy for laughs.
Yes, sir.
Oh, what do you got that's tasty, baby, outside of yourself?
Oh, we got hamburger, steak burger, cheeseburger, and whale burger.
Well, give me a sardine on rye and a cup of coffee with a hunk of cheesecake on the side. You get that?
Uh-huh.
Well, what you looking at, Blue Eyes?
You sort of remind me of someone.
Yeah?
A friend of mine. He looks just like you. Your build and everything. He's even got a scar on his hand like yours. Oh, it's very uncanny.
Oh, now, you don't have to go into a routine like that if you want to get to know me, Blondie. I'm the kind who picks up easy.
Gee, he's your spitting image.
Hey, when do you knock off today?
Why?
Maybe I'll run around and take you for a ride.
I don't go for rides with men I wasn't introduced to.
My name is Alex. What's yours?
Ethel.
Okay, we're introduced. Now, hustle your frame inside that restaurant and get them victuals, and when you come back, we'll make a date. Oh, you should have seen her eyes when I told her I was taking her out. That poor dumb bunny acted like I just gave her 1,000 shares of American TNT. Yeah, sometimes I think I should have been born quintuplet just so I could spread myself around a little more. Well, about 2 hours later, I'm back at the drive-in waiting for Ethel to finish her stint. She waltzed out at 8 sharp, wearing a dress that fit like the skin on a weenie. When she crossed her gams, I nearly stripped my gears. Where to, Sugar Plum?
Oh, I don't care. Just so I get some air.
Hey, how come a doll like you got to serve up garbage to every jerk who comes along? You know, you ought to be in pictures.
You think so?
Sure, yeah. You ever had a screen test?
No.
Well, I got pulled at Superman. The president of me, just like that. Maybe I'll talk to him tomorrow, see what I can do.
You in the picture business, Alex?
Nah, that ain't big time. I'm in a hotter racket. I promote.
What do you promote?
Well, right now, I'm working on you.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Well, is something wrong with the car?
Hey, on a level. Are you as dizzy as you sound?
Alex, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to give you a great big kiss. That make you happy?
Gee, you even kiss like Stanley.
Stanley? Who is Stanley?
The fellow I know who looks like you, Stanley Kibbe.
Say, listen, how about you can the chatter? You're out with me now, not with Stanley. Ethel.
Yeah?
Maybe I better take you home.
All right.
I'm used to gals who pay a little attention to me. Maybe I won't even see you again.
All right.
What?
Whatever you say, Alex. Whatever you say.
Well, it wasn't that I lost my touch. It was just that the dame was too dizzy to even fall. The way she talked, you'd think her head was in a plaster cast. From the neck up, she was absolutely numb. I drove her back to a flat in L.A., figuring I'd dump her and call it a night. When I got to the front of the house, something happened to change my mind.
Well, thanks for the ride, Alex.
Yeah, don't mention it. Next time I eat sardine on rye, I won't pick up on the extras.
What?
Skip it, spongehead. Go on up and put your hair in curlers for the night.
Oh, my goodness.
Now what?
It's Stanley.
Where?
See? He's been waiting in front of the house. Oh, I'll bet he's mad at me. I completely forgot we had a date.
Ah, so there you are.
Oh, Stanley.
I should have known you'd be running with a hobo.
Oh, don't be rude,
I
Stanley.
ought to sock you, mister. That's what I ought to do.
Keep them hands in your pockets, Stanley. I'm going home. I could have climbed out of the car and spilled Stanley all over the sidewalk in 60 seconds. I could have laid him out like a rubber mat. Why didn't I? Well, because I had different ideas. Yeah, you see, she was right about Stanley. It wasn't just a gag. In build and color, the guy was a ringer for me. He even had the same scar on his left hand. Our faces were a little different, maybe, but that could be fixed. For what? I'll tell you for what. And it came to me just like a flash. Up to then, it was small-time stuff. $1,000 here, $3,000 there. Nothing really big to sink my claws in. I had blackmail and larceny wraps over my skull from Albany to Albuquerque, so if I branched out a little, what did I have to lose? The idea was right, and I had a feeling Ethel was dumb enough to go for it. The only one who might kick was Stanley, and you couldn't blame him. After all, he was going to get elected to be a corpse.
A good woman is like a watch that runs on time. She clicks away with a dependability you can rely on. A clever woman is a watch that runs too fast. And a scheming woman is a watch without a face. But beware of the female who professes ignorance, for she may be the time clock you often find attached to a bomb.
I waited a week before I spring the plan on Ethel. I knew I was taking a long shot by ringing her in on it, but I figured I could always pass it off with a gag and a laugh if she would put up a kick. Say, whatever happened to Stanley, Sugar?
Oh, he's mad at me.
Count on us.
I never liked him anyway. He used to come over here with ketchup stains on his tie.
Ethel, you ever been in trouble?
What do you mean?
No. You ever had a run-in with the law?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's too bad.
It is?
I had a little business proposition to make to you.
What kind of a proposition?
Well, you like money, Ethel?
Oh, I love it.
Lots of money, huh?
Mm.
Say, how would you like to split $200,000 with me?
Oh, Alex, you're a card.
No, I'm on the level, baby. I got a tie-up that's foolproof. All I need is a dame with nerve, and I'll handle the rest.
But what's that got to do with my having trouble with the law?
Well, I just wanted to know if you'd had any practice. You see, my plan isn't exactly, legitimate.
No?
No, in order to get what we're after, we gotta kill a guy.
Alex!
All right. Forget it. It's only a mink coat and a trip around the world. You're the simple type, I know. You don't like diamonds or furs or perfume that cost $100 an ounce.
No, Alex, I just couldn't do it.
Not for a 50% split on $200,000?
I don't know how you could even mention such a thing. You must be joking.
Yeah, sure. It's only a gag, man. Make believe I never said it. But, if you happen to get a yen for a little pin money this winter, just let me know, huh? Maybe you'll change your mind. Yeah?
Alex,
Yeah, Ethel.
I've been thinking it over.
Yeah?
Do you still want me to work with you?
Yeah.
Then come right over.
Yeah. Now listen closely, baby.
I'm listening.
Faced off, we get married.
Married? What for?
Look, I don't like a ball and chain no more than you do, but it's the way we gotta work. Now, we get hitched, and then I take out an insurance policy for $100,000 with double indemnity.
What's that?
That's what?
Oh, double whatever you say.
Well, it's double the take, sweetheart. If I get killed in an accident, I collect twice.
You getting killed in an accident?
No, I'm not getting... Stanley is.
What?
Yeah, and when they find his body, he'll be in my car with my identification on him. They'll call you down to the morgue to see the body, and you'll recognize his clothes, see? The insurance company will check the scar on his hand, and that makes it final.
Oh.
Yeah, you got everything straight now?
I think so.
Okay, now right after the wedding, you get Stanley on the phone.
Well, I say to him.
Well, tell him you want to see him. Say you've been crying your eyes out since he left. Pick him up in my car and drive him up to the Heights. You know that spot overlooking the cliff?
Yeah.
That's where you park and wait for me. Now, you think you can handle him?
I guess so. But what happens after we park?
You leave that to me. She did like I said, and Stanley fell. I was waiting at the bend of the road near the cliff at 9 p.m. when they drove up. When she stole the car, Stanley grinned like a hungry hyena. But his dopey smile only stayed on his pan until I walked up and laid him cold before he could open his mouth. Okay, he's cold. Now we'll just pull him in front of the steering wheel. Get his hands around. That's it. And now where's my wallet? Oh, here, slip this into his inside pocket and take his wallet out. And now we'll twist the wheel so she points for the cliff. Put her in first. Ethel, push that starter button, baby. And then get out quick. So long, Stanley. Hold on to your hat. In 10 minutes, I was down a mountain and checking the wreck. Yeah, he was pretty badly banged up. And you couldn't recognize his face. That was the important thing. I checked her once more without touching the body and then lammed out of there with Ethel. 3 hours later, she was at the morgue, identifying a stiff.
You sure it's your husband, Mrs. Bleak?
I bought him that suit for a wedding present. Oh, I know it's him.
All right, boys, put him back. Do you know if your husband was despondent or something like that?
Oh, no. Alex was always as chipper as could be.
The fact that he took out an expensive policy and then got himself killed a couple of days later seems that the insurance adjuster worried.
You mean they think he killed himself?
Yeah. They don't pay off on suicide, you know. But they can't prove it, Mrs. Bleak, so you're okay. For my part, I'm listing it as an accidental death.
What could be sweeter? It worked so good, you'd think Stanley trying to help us along. I stayed undercover for 2 weeks while Ethel collected the dough, and then I showed up at her apartment.
Who is it?
Alex, baby.
Who?
Alex. Everything all set, sugar?
What?
You got the dough, okay?
Who are you?
Who
do you want?
Hey, what kind of a gimmick is this? You know who I am. I'm Alex Bleak, your husband.
Oh, but that's ridiculous.
What?
My husband's dead.
Wait a minute.
He was killed in an accident. I never saw you before in my life. And if you know what's good for you, you'd better not let me see you again.
And I thought she was dumb. I figured she was thicker than a hunk of cement. Dumb, huh? I should be that dumb. The party wasn't over yet, and I wasn't finished with that peroxide blonde. First, I wrote a letter and signed it Stanley Kibbe. Yeah, Stanley Kibbe, the guy we'd killed in my car. I told her that we were through, and I asked her not to do anything foolish. I said she'd find someone else as nice as me. She mustn't think that life's no good just because I ain't around. Then I began to keep an eye on her. I trailed her from morning till night, and I knew she was nervous by the way she kept looking behind her every time she hit the street. Finally, she made the move I was waiting for. She drew every nickel she had from the bank in cash. And it didn't take any fortune teller to figure she was packing to leave. Well, I beat her home from the bank and jimmied my way to her apartment. By the time she came back, the reception committee was all set. Hello, baby.
Alex?
Keep your voice down, honey. This rod I got ain't as phony as you are.
What do you want?
That dough you just drew from the bank.
Wait.
Shell out. And make it snappy.
Gee, Alex, you're not being very nice.
Oh, my name ain't Alex. It's Stanley, remember? Come on, hand it over.
Don't I get to keep any of it?
After the crush you handed me, put the roll on the table.
Oh, well, if that's the way you feel about
Hey,
it.
wait a minute. You know, as big a chiseler as you are, I can't help feeling sorry for you.
Really?
Besides, you're just dumb enough to turn me in. Even though you'd be taking a rap as well as me. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll let you keep your half.
Oh, Alex, you're so good to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, we part friends, okay?
Uh-huh.
Alex, let's drink on it, baby. Then we can kiss each other off. Hey, what do you got on the sideboard? Scotch?
Yeah.
Never mind, I'll do it. Take half the dough from that rolling table. Gotta make sure it's only half.
Oh, I'd never cheat you, Alex. You ought to know that by now.
Yeah, sure, I know. Well, here's to us, huh?
Happy days, Alex. Here's mud in your eye.
Yeah. Bottoms up. Well, it was bottoms up. There was enough cyanide in that glass I gave her to conquer Rhino. 5 minutes later, she was flat on the floor, and I stuffed my letter into a mitt and left. Neat, huh? Looked like a clear case of suicide, and she did it just for me. I thought it was pretty smart to sign that letter Stanley Kibbe. I was using his name now since I didn't have one of my own. I was supposed to be dead. And just by leaving myself wide open by writing that letter, I'd be safe. The cops wouldn't figure I'd be dumb enough to leave it in her hand after knocking her off. That's what you call reverse psychology. I'd still be covered in case somebody knew she'd be running around with a guy named Kibbe and the cops tried to look me up. When I got to my flat, I planned one more alibi just for atmosphere. Got hold of a lot of toothache medicine and wrapped a bandage around my jaw. Then I lay on a couch and waited. And... come in.
Finally, Kibbe?
Yeah, that's me.
Detective Haley. This your letter?
Where'd you find that?
Man of a woman named Ethel Kane.
Ethel.
She just killed herself.
What? Ethel. Oh, she shouldn't have done it. That's why I wrote the letter. I had a feeling this might happen. I was going to call her up tonight and talk some sense into her. But his toothache was driving me crazy.
Toothache, huh? But...
Yeah, you wouldn't know what to do about a toothache, would you?
Oh, sure. Sure, we'll fix you up, mister. At headquarters.
Well, before I got a chance to make a move, he had the handcuffs on. And an hour later, they put me on the grill. They had me with my garters down, and I knew it, and I was finished when they finally found the dough. The trial was quick, as you might have read. And half an hour ago, they told me the governor wasn't giving out with any reprieve. But if I hadn't pulled that toothache gag, I'd have been sitting pretty with a roll of money big enough to stuff a chair. Yeah, if that dumb blonde lunkhead only had enough sense to tell me. How should I know? How should I know her boyfriend, Stanley, was a dentist? Yeah, a dentist.
In the state of California, execution is carried out by means of lethal gas. And so tonight we trust that Alex Bleek, alias Stanley Kibbe, will discover a satisfying and permanent cure for an aching tooth.
The Clock will be heard again next week. It's written by Lawrence Klee, and Hart McGuire is the voice of the Clock. Alex was played by Ken Wayne. Wynn Nelson was Ethel. Others were Moira Redmond, John Ewart, and Brian James. The Clock, directed by John Saul, is a Grace Gibson radio production.